Hello from my side. I show you the keyboard and a small presentation of our company. I'm the owner of and the founder of MediaRunway for 23 years as an ICT service provider with competence, computer network, IT security and software development, and over 13 years also telephony with innovaphone. And we, since 2 years about, we develop apps for myApps. And our focus is that we only deal with your customers as your customers and never see them at our customers. So feel free to cooperate with us. We start that at the beginning of the company with other companies in Germany, and we didn't contact your customer even you want it. But in some projects of our apps, the partner wants that we told directly with the customer because it's cheaper for the partner and the solution is faster. And I also want to inform you that we have some standard apps and also develop individual for your projects, for your customers. That could be phone apps, but it mustn't be phone apps. For example, an opinion app isn't connected to a phone. So just to the keyboard app of MediaRunway visualize the innovaphone waiting queue. It has a dashboard and live monitoring. There are 3 access rights for a user, supervisor, and an admin. A supervisor and a user could log in and log out to the waiting queue. You could see abandoned calls and have a callback function. It's wrap-up time, statistic, etc. But I think it's better I show it live. So I hope you could see 2 myApps clients in a browser. On the left side, you see it in German. On the right side, you see it in English. We use the default language configured in the myApps client. And the left one is a supervisor and the right one is a normal user. With the arrows, you could show what you want. And you see first the personal state, and then followed up by the waiting queue name. It's here, a test waiting queue. And then you see 6 tiles, started with the longest waiting time. I go to the right side because it's English, and how many just waiting. So you see here the list. If there are 5 waitings, you see here 5, and the longest waiting is the upper, and this time it's the same. I show it in real time, in some seconds, and here in the third tile, you see the abandoned calls. So all the users who hang up before you take the call or an agent takes the call. In the next 3 tiles, you see the state of your team members. Yeah, you can see all the team members, and you see here 2 are ready. One is locked in the first group, and one is locked in another group. And in the second tile, you see all the team members who are phoning now. And here's the wrap-up time, I can show it. Yeah, just configure with the admin app a wrap-up time. And then you see it here directly. Here you can refresh, and here you can release the wrap-up time, and then you see how many agents are in wrap-up. So the difference between the user and the supervisor is that the supervisor could see statistics and see here in the team status on each member to log in and log out button, but the user itself only at his user. When the supervisor wants to change it, he can click it and then decide which group. All groups which are referenced to the waiting queue are listed here, and then you can switch on or off, and then you see live that it's changed. And if a user has a static configuration, then the supervisor can't change it, but can change the other ones. The bonded calls are empty, and if I do a call, so you can see here it's waiting time of 6 seconds. It's the same. You see the number, how many are waiting, and if I hang up, then you will see here's one bonded calls, and here you see the list of the bonded calls. In the left side column, you see first the number. You can click it to call it back. How many he called, and the first time he called. And if you call the user back, then the line will be green on all agents, and here a timestamp and how many and who called the caller back. And if you have a good call to the user and not missing or something else, then you can decide to clear it with the trash icon. So here I didn't do it, but if the caller calls again and someone take it, then you will see that here. Then you will see that here the entry is away because you have talked to him and you didn't need to call him back. So are there some questions to this app till now? Okay, then I start the presentation again. The licensing of the QBot app is for each queue, you need an app instance. So you install the app on the app platform, and then for each queue, you have to configure an app instance. And then each app instance, each user who wants to access this app needs a license. So I do an example. If there are 2 waiting queues, which each of them have 5 agents, but only 2 supervisors should get access to each waiting queue, monitoring the queue, then you need 2 supervisors for 2 queues. So 4 licenses are needed. And actually, it's €1.49 per user per month. And I can tell you that we are just doing some changes in the app so that we change to the innovaphone price list licensing from October. So then you could buy them by the usual way. You also bought the innovaphone own apps. Till October, you have to contact us. And the licensing to the innovaphone licensing price list will not only do for the QBot, we plan it to do it for the most of our apps. Then I want to show you some more things.
Wait, there were just now two questions. Can the user be in more than one queue? I think you've already shown that.
Yes, a user could be more than one queue, but the problem is if you configure the waiting queue that a broadcast will be done, you have maybe a problem which queue delivered first. So the queuebot today doesn't change the call distribution. It's only a visualization of the queuebot configuration and all the things what happened in the queue. But in the future, we plan to do something like that. For example, skill-based routing, and then on the skilled, we decide to deliver the queue call.
Mm-hmm. And then the other one was the call, the abandoned call disappeared. That was called. Is this configurable, or does it always disappear when you call back?
Oh, sorry, I didn't understand the question. I can describe something. When you call the user the number back, the number doesn't delete automatically. Only the deletion automatically will happen when the caller calls again and then connected to an agent. Then you didn't need to call him back because he just got his answers to his questions. That's the answer for the question.
I think so. Yes.
Okay. Are there any other questions?
No, not so far.
Okay. Then we go to more. In the upper you see our website URL. There you can inform on English about all our apps and got the links to the wiki and the videos of the apps, if there are some. And on the left side, you see our previous apps. So that are all apps we released in the store, in the innovaphone store. It must be just 14. The first 3 are for free, so they don't need any payment and license key. And the next ones are licensed. And on the right side, you see our shortly new apps. The first one is an internet radio app. It's also free. And the next 2 ones, the next line, are planned to released firstly in a beta. And the next 3 ones will released normally directly by licensing. And the radio app, you can hear radio, and if a caller calls you and you take the call, the radio app will be stopped. And if you release a call, then the radio app plays again. So this app here is, can you see my mouse? No?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, perfect. This app here, it's a file and a sharing button, sharing icon. So the app will be share some files. So, for example, if you have a big file and want to transfer it via email, and the other side couldn't get it because it's too big, the security policy doesn't allow it. So you need another way to transfer your app. An admin has an FTP account or something like that, but a normal user doesn't have it. So here you can distribute this app to the user. He drag and drop his file to the app, got a link for the file, and then send only the link via email. And the file is hosted on the PBX app platform. And then if the app platform is connectable from outside, the receiver of the email could then download the file. You could secure it with a password and how often the app should be downloaded. For example, you know it's a critical file. You want only to download it once a time or only one week in a 1 week window to download it. Then you can configure it in the app, and the receiver could download it. And you see also with the decremension of the downloaded count is a file really downloaded. And the left one here, it's an analytic. I will show it in some minutes. And here you see a Hotdesk app. The Hotdesk app is developed to do hot desking with third-party devices, for example, for SNOM. And you could then change your desk phone with the myApps app. So you input in the app a list of MAC address of the phones and a name. And for example, you are in a call center and the desk has the name 002. You could put here 002 occupied, and then you got the phone of the desk. And if you want to do it at manual with the user, then you have the possibility to do it with the login of the PC. So if the users, for example, user 1 logs into PC number 002, then the app knows that you are logged in at the PC 002, and then you got automatically the desk phone. And if you have here an app, the myApps app put it away when you changed it in the devices app to a new MAC address, but this app got it back to the right position. So you didn't realize that the app is gone and got back, all done by the Hotdesk app. The favorite contacts app is a possibility like here, soft phone app. You have favorites, and that's also in the favorite contacts. But here's a limit of 32 entries and no differentiation by groups. Here you can configure groups, and in each group could be 32 entries. So you have no limit of 32 at all. So you have an unlimited favorite list, and also by groups. So then I go back to the presentation. The phone control app, it's shown in this icon. This app helps the user, or gives the user the possibility to mute his calling sound. So, for example, you have a desk phone at home and a desk phone at the company. Then you can go to the company, remember, oh, I forgot to mute my phone ringing in the home office. And for example, my kid is sick and is lying in the bed and he hear each time the ringing, then you can remotely silent and mute the ringing of your home office phone. So now you can see the Analytics app. The Analytics app is, in one hand, a visualization of the information about all the calls which are done through the PBX. Here, for example, you see a trunk. So how many calls was done parallel. So you see how many zip trunk lines you need. And here you see some statistics from the users and the reaction time in a pie chart. And you can do your own dashboard or share it with other people's. Then you have here a reporting function. It's a table view. In the first one, you see it here. You can decide some restrictions for the table, which will be shown. So you could say, I want only see incoming calls or outgoing calls or calls which are not connected. And in the next two ones that are because the project billing is needed, or if a project billing is needed, for example, you have a customer who called only on one waiting queue, and you want to track and do a bill for all the calls, then you could do it here. Also with an anonymization of the calling number, and that's for incoming calls. And here you have the possibility to also track and bill the outgoing calls. That is tracked by the outgoing calling number of the user. So if the user sends, for example, queue or group number to outside, then all the calls could also be listed in a list, and then we export to CSV for Excel, and then you can bill it to your customer. So I want to give you some information we recognized. So the first one is that we are surprised that that your customers come call to us or write to us and not the partner. Or we hear from the partner that the customer has asked his partner and want to know about the app. The partner, the customer is the early adapter from the apps and not the partner. That's maybe not so good. We also see that the apps win projects, like Johannes Nowak represented on the innovaphone roadshow. So some of our projects, Christian said it in the beginning of the webinar, that some projects are not working today or not finished today when our apps doesn't help. And some customer are in an installation situation with a partner. We had a conference with the customer. We show him the app. He told us that he surprised that there is a function like that, because he has the idea to change the vendor because he didn't know about these features. In the past, the partner said that there's no solution for that with innovaphone, but with our app, he could solve it. And even the partner doesn't contact his customer proactively, maybe he lost his customer because the customer has the idea to change to another vendor. So thank you for your attention, and yeah, please contact us if you have questions to our apps. My wife could do an individual presentation for you for all or interested apps of you. And if you have an idea in a project, let's talk about it, because we don't do only standard apps, we also do individual apps, and they are not so price incentive. So please call us. Thank you.